Hi, today we will be going through a demo of PlanView Enterprise One's dynamic planning capabilities. Before we go into scenario planning and show you how we can revisit our strategic direction and reallocate funding, here's a dashboard that illustrates decisions that have been made across the portfolio. We had to reduce our budgets by about $10 million across all of our strategies, which does include some new strategic funding, some adjusted funding, and some that has been maintained. In this dashboard, as I drill into a specific funding status, you'll notice I can see all of the related strategies. If I want to drill in to a strategy to see a little bit more about that key information, with our dashboards, we give you that drill down capability to say, I want to understand a little bit more about expand into new territories. That's the strategy we'll be working with today. And here I get a great view into those financials over time, how all of the work and projects relates up to the big picture of our run, grow, and transform. As well as I can see all of our work and where we have accepted and it's currently in the portfolio, as well as the new great ideas coming down the pipeline. So now let's take a look at our dynamic planning scenario. The scenario we're going to go through today is where we can revisit our strategic funding. Here, we can see all of our different strategies. The check marks, the ones at the top, are the ones that we have funded so far, maybe in our previous planning scenario. The ones down here at the bottom are the new ones that we want to see how we can fund them into our current scenario. So the new great ideas coming down the pipeline. And what we track to is this portfolio target. This is what you are constrained to as an organization. So in this scenario, we only have $22 million in budget. We only have 13 in CapEx and 9 in OpEx. And as we start to bring new strategies and fund new strategies into the portfolio, you'll see the relationship of how we're doing in terms of being able to see how we're overrunning on costs, as well as maybe we're hitting some goals over here on the left. And we can have multiple scenarios. So our original plan maybe had us with $32 million, and this $5 million budget cut maybe has us with 27. This is where you can go through multiple different models to understand those trade-off decisions. So let's fund these new strategies. It's as easy as me dragging and dropping these to the top. And you'll notice it changes our capital costs. Now we're $15 million over. We're $7 million over our CapEx. We're $8 million over our OpEx. And the next thing I can do is I can unfund and delay funding for some of our other strategies. Move these to the bottom. And you'll notice the relationship of what just happened as we started to unfund those new strategies. We could see that our costs were now no longer over our costs, but we're still hitting revenue and revenue growth targets. This is where we give you that data to help you drive your decision making and compare multiple different scenarios. So as I go through these scenarios and look at our trade-offs, we can compare our planned investments to see the difference in costs, expense, capitalized costs, as well as the strategies that we've accepted and moved in, as well as the ones that we've moved out in different scenarios. We also give you the ability up here at the top to use our impact analysis tiles to look at revenue and budget cut trade-offs and compare those different scenarios. So the orange is what we originally had planned. The blue is this $10 million cut scenario. You can see over the next few quarters, we'll be saving about $2.5 million per quarter. And down here at the bottom, you can see the relationship of how it relates up to the big picture in that spend. So taking some of those attributes on those strategies to see that we're spending more money on immediate disruption and short term versus some of the long-term activities. as well as funding that key strategy of expansion and growth, but maybe not digital development and acquisition. This is where we give you multiple different views. So your EPMO, your executives, your management teams can understand and model those trade-offs to have the data help you drive your decision making when it comes to your strategies as well as your incoming work. So in this example, maybe I've taken some of that money and funded completely our expansion. This is where I can not only plan at a strategy level, but I could plan at a lower level to reprioritize our investments within that strategy. So being able to look at our funding to see how that trade-off would look in terms of being able to see all the lower level projects and all the lower level work that are funded within that strategy. And so in this scenario, the check marks are still the ones that we've accepted and are currently in the portfolio. The graphs are the new great ideas that we're bringing down in the pipeline. And this is where we can prioritize our projects. Prioritize it maybe by priority and risk. And maybe we can drag and drop a few, arrange it. You can start to do that prioritization. This is where we help give you that visibility into that apples to apples comparison of why you would take on one project versus another. And just as before, now I'm starting to look at the funding for expansion into new territories. I can see all of our ongoing projects up here at the top, as well as the graphs down here at the bottom. This is where we give you the ability to understand the interaction of your time, of your people, of your money, that when I'm going to work on this next-gen mobile application project, I can see that we're over our contractor costs, we're over our CapEx, our OpEx, but we're hitting some benefit revenues. And as we do that, the system is alerting us to tell us where we're over our cost overrun, where we might have dependency conflicts, because this is dependent on our next-gen data collaboration. We give you that visibility to understand and see what would happen if you move work in, move work out, shift work around, as well as the relationship of balancing it out across your different teams in terms of your capacity. This is where you can start to look and ask those questions as an organization to say, should we hire more people? Can we afford this? Should we shift around our timelines? Should we delay some of our work? And this is where strategy and planning go hand in hand, because as we start to decide and work on this new work, this is where it should relate up to the strategy. It should align to our strategic and organizational goals. So when I go to look at our strategic investments and I start to look at that roadmap for the future, we can see how it relates up to the big picture. So in this strategy view, this is where I can see how expand into new territories relates up to other objectives and our mission as an organization. I can see all of the related initiatives and work that need to be going on. And when I say that, hey, we're working on using technology to drive consumer demand, I can see all of the related work. So we can start to take that plan and operationalize our strategic plan. So when you build that roadmap out for the next year and change your strategic direction, we can see all of the associated work, giving us real-time, instant visibility into everything that's going on. And throughout the solution, we give you the ability to drill down and drill in, as well as take this, and we're fully integrated with the Microsoft Office suite, to take this strategic plan and with one click, bring it into a PowerPoint timeline. This makes it very simple and easy for us to show our executives, show our management team that when we talk about using technology to drive consumer demand, I can see all of the related work. I can see all of those upcoming milestones. We want to make it very simple and easy for you to build out that strategic plan and start to operationalize that strategic plan. The last thing I wanted to show is that as you're starting to work on all of the associated work on all of your strategies and initiatives, we have a strategic delivery dashboard that allows you to start to see that spend over time. Being able to look at projects and features in the pipeline, all your initiatives that are ongoing, being able to look at that spend by different strategy, drill in to expand into the new territories, see all of our related initiatives, maybe establish that new distribution channel and start to drill into it. Thank you.